Let's start here. She had Chiron in Pisces, along with other strong Pisces and Neptune influences. In astrology, Pisces and Neptune are connected with empathy, perception, and the ability to see things beneath the surface. So these are the kinds of placements that can give someone a very strong instinct about people and situations. She was psychic, no doubt about that. Now, another thing that stands out is her Capricorn Sun. There's Capricorn, is in the 12th house. Capricorn is a sign associated with discipline, maturity, and wisdom. But the 12th house is very different. It's the most private house in astrology. So the 12th house represents what's hidden and what's behind the scenes. People with a 12th house sun often prefer to operate behind the scenes. They're usually more comfortable out of the spotlight, working quietly rather than being publicly visible. So astrologically speaking, it's not surprising that Carolyn seemed uncomfortable with the level of attention she received. Her chart suggested someone who would naturally thrive in privacy rather than constant media scrutiny. Now, even though her relationship with John brought unimaginable love into her life, everything that went along with it wasn't good for her. So after seeing this placement, I can only imagine how worried she was and how much she lived in fear. Those two emotions, when felt for a long time, will manifest into something that you don't want. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. Her 7th house, that's what blew my mind. The 7th is the house of partnerships and marriage, okay? Now, over here, the corresponding house is the 1st, which represents you and the self, and then the 7th, it's your one-on-one relationships with others. Now, her part of fortune right here is in Leo in her 7th. The part of fortune is where someone receives joy, love, and abundance. Since it's in her 7th, we can interpret her as someone who experiences significant joy, abundance, opportunity, or recognition through a relationship. She certainly did receive all of those things. Her marriage to John Kennedy Jr. instantly placed her in one of the most visible and historically famous families in America. She was also a leader in innovative fashion, and Leo is all about leading. But the attention wasn't good for her. Now, the mind-blowing part. The 7th house in her chart contains a very intense planetary combination. Uranus, Pluto, conjunct in Virgo. When Uranus and Pluto come together in the partnership house, this is interpreted as relationships that are transformative, intense, and life-changing. These are the kinds of partnerships that completely alter the direction of someone's life. And that symbolism fits her story remarkably well. Here's where you might get cold chills. She was an Aquarius ascendant, so Uranus ruled her entire chart. You have Uranus here in the 7th, and it's the planet that rules sudden, unexpected events, accidents, and guess what else? Airplanes. Right beside is Pluto. Now, Pluto might be slow, but Pluto is a powerful energy. Pluto rules endings of all kinds, as well as intensity and passion. Now, when planets are conjunct, that means their energies are magnified. There's another interesting feature in her chart, okay? Libra, which is the sign of balance and harmony, where'd you go, Libra? It is intercepted right here, which can sometimes mean that balance in relationships takes time to develop or access fully. Clearly, she struggled with that. Now, astrology doesn't tell us exactly what will happen in someone's life, but it does reveal patterns in personality, sensitivity, and life themes. And when you look at Carolyn Bessette Kennedy's chart, what emerges is the picture of someone who was highly perceptive, deeply private, and whose life path became profoundly shaped by partnership and public attention, which eventually brought her to an early demise. She was only 27 years old when she perished in that plane crash, and I'm convinced that her free will could have overridden that if she had fully understood what was good for her and what wasn't. It's a fascinating reminder that astrology isn't just about predicting events. It's really about understanding the deeper patterns that shape who we are and how we move through the world.